Good morning, everyone. I am excited to be back here in the group. I'm sorry that I've been absent for the last little while. Flew home last night, which was a long flight. I'm still jet lagged, but I'm in a good space. And the first thing I wanted to do was come and be here in this group with you. So here I am. And I was just feeling thwarted while I was overseas this time. Everywhere that I wanted to shoot videos, I just didn't have signal. We kept going to these remote places. Anyway, so I'm here now and I want to start sharing a lot of the downloads, a lot of the feedback, like things that are based on conversations I've been having with women. And a really big one that I want to bring to the table this morning is because it's pretty universal, right? And in fact, it's universal whether you go out of the house to work or whether you work at home or whether you're a stay-at-home mother. Like, it's kind of across the board, this issue. So this burning desire for us to know that our children know that they are the priority, that we love them heart and soul, that we will always be there for them, that we are always there for them, right? And this comes up over and over and over again for mothers, how important and critical and crucial it is that their children know this beyond a shadow of a doubt, like no question marks. My children know that I love them and that I am always there for them, right? Okay, I get that. I totally get that. Seriously, on board with that. And the problem that happens is when mothers feel torn in several directions, when they're working outside of the home, and even if they're not working, let's say you're working at home like I do, I still have to manage this and be conscious of where I sit on this continuum internally for me. Otherwise, I get out of alignment and out of congruency. So it doesn't really matter where you're feeling torn into or how that comes about. The issue is that we do not feel for sure aligned and congruent in our bodies around this. And when you don't feel aligned and congruent around it, when you internally feel conflicted about it and not sure and worried, am I showing up enough for my children? Am I there for them? Do they feel like I'm absent? Like all those pieces. You want to create that internal congruency. And if you don't have it, it shows up all over the place. So it can show up and be mirrored outside you in your work demands and responsibilities start increasing and you feel like you're being pulled away more and more and more. Good morning, Nikki. Mwah. So that's one area you can see it. Another area that I see it in several clients that I've worked with is they want to manifest or create the perfect childcare or child-minding support for their children for when they can't be there. Like, okay, so if they're going back to work after maternity leave, or if they're wanting to start a new opportunity, or they're wanting to go back and study or something like that, and they need to make sure that their children are nurtured and safe, and they're looking for the perfect in their mind, like in what's their criteria of a childminder, someone who will be able to step in. Okay, if you do not feel congruent, and 90% of the women I talk to in this situation, they don't feel congruent about it. They feel really torn about doing this and going back to work or going to study or whatever it is, right? They feel very incongruent. If you feel incongruent about it, it's freaking hard. It's almost impossible to find this childcare support person, network, whatever it is that you want, right? That's another area it shows up. It will show up with your relationships with your children. They'll start to mirror your internal lack of congruency. Karen and I talk about this a lot, right? That the amount of times we have to coach women just into congruency, right? There's so much of what we're doing is just helping you get congruent. And as soon as you get congruent, your children stop manifesting your internal conflict around it, okay? So you can see it coming up in your relationships with your children. So this issue, this lack of congruency around feeling torn in multiple directions and, oh my God, am I really there? Do they know that I love them more than anything in the world? Do they know that I am always there for them? Or are they thinking, she doesn't care about me, she's always doing something else, right? That issue needs to have congruency and alignment, or it will all the way through in every area of your life. Okay, so the one piece that I want to really bring to the table on that, if this is something that's really up for you, by the way, then good morning, everyone. Thanks for the love. If this is something that's really up for you, then you can ask questions, you can get all the clarification you want, and you can PM me and let's just talk. Let me help you get congruent, okay? It's not a big deal, but if you don't do it, it's freaking stressful as, right? And so the bit that I want to give you today, okay, here's a really interesting mindset shift that I want you to get your heads around because it's the key piece here, okay? And it is that even stay-at-home mothers who are there all the time, 24/7, never leave their children, can miss this point. And they can still be wondering, do my children know beyond a shadow of a doubt how much I love them, how much I care for them? Like, that's universal across the board. I get that all the time. Kaya gets that all the time, right? Okay, so here's the thing. Your children, knowing that you love them, that they are your number one, that they are everything to you, that you are always there for them no matter what, them feeling that in their bodies is about the quality of the moments you bring to your children, not the quantity. Okay, I really want you to hear this. So the quality of the moments you bring, not the quantity. Okay, now obviously there's a certain level of you can't never be there, right? But that's not what I'm talking about, and that's not any of you guys anyway. So that's not the issue here. You want to be present when you are there with your children. You don't want to be not present, right? I know stay-at-home mothers. I have done this myself when my children were little as a stay-at-home mum, who could spend an hour sitting on the floor with my child playing, not really there mentally at all, not even wanting to be on the floor with the train set again, right? I did a lot of train sets. So that is not present. That is not there, right? That's just filling in time and space, and that's not what I'm talking about. Your moments of quality come from your presence, from your focus, and from creating dedicated, intentional moments of connection with your children. And these moments of connection, it's not about hours of time. That's not what fills their cup. It's not what makes them feel loved. They want to feel your energy. They want to feel your presence and your focus. And they want to get across, or you want to get across, communicating to them how much you love them, how special they are to you, how unique they are. What is it that you love about them that is unique, right? They want to hear your heart speaking to them. They want your presence and your focus. Okay, and they don't necessarily want it for hours, right? When I realized this years and years ago, my children were still very little, I did an experiment and I said, okay, all these connection dates, I'm going to let my children choose when they end. I'm not going to put an end on them, okay? At the time I was like, oh God, this is going to be hard, because often we go into it and say, right, I can do this for 20 minutes, or I can do this for half an hour, I can do this for whatever it is you decide, right? I decided to take that off. Let my children decide when the connection feels complete. I wanted to see, right? I wanted to explore that. And the connection time for children, and I've done this with clients since, right? So there's no hard and fast. There's no blanket formula that works for a child, right? But more and more, this is the common, is what's happening, is that our children feel complete way earlier than we think. 10 minutes, they're done, they're off, they're gone. You're like, oh, we're finished now, right? But the key to that, the key to their cup feeling full, is the quality of the moment that you have with them, the intention that you bring to it, right? Your full presence, not I'm never present because I'm so freaking overwhelmed and I've got 100 things in my head and my to-do list. I get that too, right? But that's not present and focused and fully there. And that is where, if you're always in that overwhelmed and I'm never really here in front of myself, I'm always, woo, there's so much going on. That is when your child will feel like they can't fill their cup. That will be the constant neediness, right? So understand this mindset, okay? If you want your children to know what is already in your heart, that you love them more than anything, that they are your number one, then you need to be present for moments of quality time where you're focused and present to communicate that, okay? And they will feel it and they will know it. Your energy transmits to your children all day long, all the time, okay? And if you create an intentional container where your intention is to open your energy and be so there for this child in this moment, and it might be 5 minutes, right? The most beautiful bedtime ritual, whatever it is, when you are fully there, they will receive it and they will feel you and they will get it, okay? And this is a really important distinction. It's part of the piece that creates the congruency and the alignment internally. And if you don't have that and you're all over the place, hey Beatrice, oh, and thank you. Yes, it's my birthday today. If you don't do that and you're not feeling aligned and congruent, then you will be drowning in guilt and anxiety and stress as a mother who's heart-centered. It's like, sucks, right? I do not want that for you. So first action step, take what I've said here, really feel into it. It's the quality of the moments that you bring, the intention. How can you power up on that? How can you make that such a sacred, gorgeous moment, right? It is not the quantity. It is not sitting there in front of them for 4 hours wishing you were doing something else and being bored, or mentally going through your work priorities or whatever it is, right? That length of time does not communicate, I am always here for you no matter what, like you are my priority. It's the quality of the moment and the intention in that moment, right? And if you want me to talk more about this, like how do we do that? What does that look like exactly? I'm going to assume most of you intuitively already have a download on that immediately, like, oh, there's one moment where I could really ramp that up. But if that's not the case, put a question or a comment or something below and I will get back to it and we'll go deeper on this. Because that is the first key piece, right? And I guarantee you, when you start shifting on this energetic level and giving this amazing 100% energy in small moments, that torn into out of alignment, stressy anxiety piece will start to fall away. It will go, okay? And the freedom and space that clears up in your energy is huge, The way you feel is going to shift so much. So it's something I really, really wanted to bring to you. And if this is a really big issue for you, like you know in your body, this is the thing that's freaking me out the most, or stressing me out, or holding me back, or keeping me stagnant and stuck, or whatever it is, then I seriously want you to contact me and let's sort it out. Let's get you congruent. Sometimes it takes voicing that and allowing someone to support you back into what feels congruent and aligned for you to move through it so that you can implement this piece, okay? And Kaya and I do this all the time. Seriously, we can do this on a call with you like that, okay? Okay, everyone, so much love. I'm happy to be back in the group and happy to be here. Mwah! I'm getting all these little birthday messages popping up. Thank you so much. I'm looking forward to being here. You're going to see me heaps more. I'm back and I'm here. So I'm excited, and enjoy your weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.